Alright, look, I'm hopping back on this little YouTube shit. I ain't got nothing else to do. I'm in the spirit right now, so I'm finna go ahead and record a video. Now look, we finna be talking about possession. I ain't do a video in so fucking long, this shit feel weird, but I'm finna adapt. Now look though, we finna talk about how people get possessed and shit. Now look, you in your original form is within. You get what I'm trying to say? And within is the spirit. You not really part of the outside world, if you get what I'm trying to say. Like really, you come from the internal world, and then you supposed to express your internal world into the external world. But when you start to identify yourself with the outside world and you stop catering and you try to discard your internal world, then that's when it plays out where you have the possibilities of getting possessed by spirits and shit like that, and spiritual influences and other shit, man. But I'm finna tell you how to prevent this shit, and I'm finna tell you whatever the fuck come to my head. I'm finna tell you. I'm not finna sit up here and tell you specifically, but just tune in, my nigga. Now look, if you a person and you know yourself, and you know yourself from within, but you're not lost on the outside world, or you're not lost like on the outer how I'm trying to say this, like you're not lost in your looks, you're not lost in your physical appearance type shit. Like you're not identifying with your physical appearance, you're not identifying with your car, you're not identifying with the clothes you wear, you're not identifying with the fucking hats you wear. You get what I'm trying to say? Like if you're a person and you detach from your hair, your money, your job, your car, and you know who you is from within type shit, then it plays out where you're less likely to get possessed by spirits, and it most likely gonna play out where your life is gonna be smooth and it's gonna be smooth sailing and shit like that. But if you're a person and you identify with your car, like you identify with the clothes you wear and shit like that, like you letting clothes make you and shit like that, then you opening up doors for yourself to get possessed by any spirit that you let in and shit like that, depending on how you vibrate and shit like that. Now if you now we not on the person who know theyself, we on the person who don't know themselves from within and shit like that. Now when you start like kind of like materialistic ass people who always trying to get the most money, they always trying to get the most guap and shit like that, or it's like greed or some shit. People who just identify with just the job they work at and shit like that. Because when you working at a job and shit like that, you're not working on you. You get what I'm trying to say? You're not working on the individual. You working on the outside. You working not on, but you working for the outside world. But you're not working for yourself, if you get what I'm trying to say. And when you're not working for yourself as the individual, then that's when it plays out where you can be, if you don't get possessed by no spirit or nothing like that, it can play out where you can just be an average mundane ass person, if you get what I'm trying to say. Like, say for example, you don't get spiritually possessed, but you work a job and shit like that. You live an average Joe ass life type shit. It's gonna play out where you gonna be robotic-ish, if you get what I'm trying to say. Like you're gonna be the type of person who don't really have a life outside of their job, or a life outside of their hold on. But as I was saying though, if you're not letting your internal express to the outside world, and you just always working in the outside world, like the outside reality of life and shit like that, but you never trying to find your own path personal to you. You never trying to find your own way to do things. Then but you may not get spiritually possessed by anything, especially if you vibrate at a good vibration. Like you don't really mean no evil on nobody or anything like that. Then you may not get possessed, but you may just play out as like an average Joe. You get what I'm trying to say? And now I'm finna hop on the possessions part. Now, if you're a person and you vibrate low, if you get what I'm trying to say, then you got like a 95% chance of getting possessed by any type of spirit that you attracting and shit like that. Now, the spirits, the the names and shit like that, I'm not finna hop on like the names logically speaking. I'm just finna just tell you like how it is in general. I don't got time to be. I got time to do that shit, but today I'm not trying to do that shit. I'm trying to make this shit simple as fuck so you can understand this shit. Now look, as I was saying though, when you vibrating low as fucking shit, and you always participating in the outside world, you always around friends and family and shit like that, but these people you around, they got negative and low spirits on them and shit like that, then it can play out where the spirits, they can see that it's a opening or it's a leakage within you, if you get what I'm trying to say. Like you may look like you may look like you got it together on the outside, but if you don't have it together on the inside, then it can play out where you can get attacked and influenced by spirits and shit like that. You gonna start in ways the symptoms of this shit, it can play out where you may have low self-esteem or some shit like that. You getting attacked and shit in your internal realm, and you can't really identify where this low self-esteem is coming from. And it don't even play out in ways like that. It can play out in ways where you just attract like just negative, like fucked up people. Cause it's like, how can I say this shit? It's like if you don't got your internal that internal realm right, and it gets possessed, it can play out where you can be thinking like, oh, you may get possessed by any type of spirit. Now I'm finna get logical here. You may get possessed by a fucking bisexual ass spirit, a fucking homo ass spirit, a fucking a killing spirit, a fucking what else type of spirits? A lazy ass spirit, lazy nigga spirit, what else? A coward ass nigga spirit. You always lying and it's not. Now when I'm gonna say this though, I'm gonna clear this shit up. It depends. Lying is not really, it's not bad. It just depends on how you do it. Now what I mean by that, if you tell white lies and shit like that, then that's really nothing. Like if you say lies like that's white lies, that ain't really shit. But I mean, what I mean by lying and what I'm talking about is like you lying about who you are as a person type of lies. Like you lying saying like you this way, but you really ain't about what you talking about type of lying. Like little bullshit ass. Yeah, that's the shit I'm talking about. Now look, back to this shit. But the possession shit, I'm finna break this shit down and I'm finna start this shit. I ain't trying to make this shit go over 10 minutes. Possession, this shit come from when you not catering to that internal world within you, and spirits, like any type of spirits that surround you that's on some negative shit, if they sense a fucking opening or a leakage within you, or they see like you weak, like you spiritually weak, then it can play out where you can get fucking possessed, and you gonna start identifying with whatever you got possessed by in the physical. So if you got possessed by a gay spirit, you're gonna start identifying, and you spiritually weak and you not mentally strong, then you're gonna start identifying with yourself as gay. But gay is not real. You gotta understand this shit. This shit come from a different realm. This is some backwards ass shit. Anything that's backwards is devil. Anything that's going forward in this way, like the way the clock move, that's heaven. Anything going this way, back in time type of shit, that's devil type of energy. You get what I'm trying to say? I'm not trying to make this shit go over 10 minutes, but that's pretty much it.